Hello, hello, and welcome back to Pathologic, the Haruspex route. Actually, kind of forgot what happened yesterday. What I do know, as you can see down there, is that a section of the knots has become infected. Not good. Yeah, all I remember from yesterday is that we continued to experiment with our weed water. Oh right, the butchers. Right. That was a really quick and kind of inconsequential quest. Kind of forgot that the Haruspex had those. Also, I believe that our main sort of quest has changed. Behold the sought one, the named one, marked by the brand. He is sick, he is dying. The earth has come up to his waist. I must complete the task that my father left unfinished. I have yet to find out the identity of my patient, but I already know the answer to how his life may be prolonged. There's talk of a sand pest outbreak. I don't know who is dying yet, but I know that what they are dying of. The enemy that was once defeated by my father has returned with a vengeance. I wasn't left this box for its mundane value. There's more inside it, this unfinished deed, this unfulfilled duty. There is knowledge inside, the formulas, the compoundings, the keys to create the only solution by which the sought one may be cured. A panacea. I don't know yet who is at their deathbed, but I know how he may be brought back to life. 2 journeys await me. The first will lead me to the sought one. The second will teach me how the panacea is made. It's time to depart. And do we have any new notes? Oh, Sticky's in danger today. Extract about the first outbreak, page 29. Crude sprawl, houses 2, 3, 5, 7 through 11, and 13. As of 16, 118 sick, 3 deceased. As of 1900, 281 sick, 99 deceased. Houses 1 and 6, everyone died, except the Korov, Ubon, Children, Ukon, quarantine. Houses 12 and 14 boarded up. The disease is rapidly spreading. The mortality rate is nearly 100%. Only a miracle will save us. Should be localized with whatever harsh measures required. The Black Quarantine. Skinner's District, houses 2 and 7, adjacent to Crude Sprawl. Uncharacteristic indications, boarded up. Crude Sprawl as of 2:30, 2 to 30, whatever. Sick, 217 deceased, no one infected. No one uninfected. Did not contract after taking petrol formula myself. Uprin Reuben. Contracted after taking quick brew. Obden Norak Bode. Cured with dead gruel. Norak. The signs indicate her proximity. Suak. The time will come when the starving ancient mother will devour her offspring. The depth of her gullet cannot be measured. The searing heat of her cavities cannot be quenched. The soil, the mud, the dense darkness, the horror. Fucking hell, that's bleak. And that's the exact same plague that has escaped the Skinner's district and is now reaching the knots. Unfortunate, but as of now, since nobody is awake to give me a quest, I will follow up on Notkin's request. I'm going to check out the boarded up district and gather some crowbars. perhaps politely ask the inhabitants if I can have their stuff. You know, as the Haruspex does. Like how I will politely ask this fine gentleman to give me his claw. Extraction successful. So I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing a lot of Hitman 2016 as of recent, and now my muscle memory's all adjusted to that game instead of this. It's a little disconcerting. Anyways, the only district that's burnt out is the Skinners. And to buy coffee and stuff like that, I'm going to cut down here into the gut and head back up from the lower bridge, or the mid bridge. Dying women shamble about in their disgusting plague-infected clothes. Oh, it's Firebride. Hello. Do not condemn us for our lavishness. That's just how the local customs and morals are. Nothing can be further from my mind. The plague is as grotesque as ever. Still uncomfortable. Blight not only to man, but the earth under it. Fortunately, the poor district is having a nice break from the plague. Surprisingly, despite being up here, didn't infect down here. Instead, it just crossed right down here. Fortunately, it puts my children at risk, but the world has its ways of fucking with you. Now I'll get my coffee grounds, because as we all know, I cannot live without coffee. Coffee-based life form. For without caffeine, I am lost. Just keep in mind while looting that I only have 3 bullets. Or, well, shells. Suppose while we're walking over here, I did kind of find it funny that when initially talking to Notkin yesterday, he described the weapon as if it was a rifle, and then he gives me a shotgun. Like, this does not use cartridges. This is a shotgun, mate. Anyways. Again, I am a nice man that is just kindly taking their crowbars. This is what we like to call communist reformism. Huh. But there was a mugger on this level too. So look around, I know that some of the prop foods can actually appear. Also, lemons. Which, for whatever reason, lemons are really common in infected houses. Or post-infected houses as well. Also, if there's no mugger down here, it means there's 2 up here, which is... yeah, let's back up. At least the music's a bop. Not this song. This song is just scary. I remember one time when I was just listening to this song just on its own, because I'm a freak like that, I started feeling like nauseous because this song is just so like disorientating and gross sounding. This is what I imagine a plague sounds like if it was music. It's kind of like winding, yellowish, slow yet at the same time quick sounding dirge. I kind of love it, though. I think it's a genuinely good song. Or, well, a listenable song, rather. Of course it's good. It's an emotion piece. On the bright side, reforming these thugs gives me a lot of organs. And if I don't want to wander around in the steppe aimlessly, I can trade organs in for Twirin instead. Which is something I might actually consider doing. Being a bit of a butcher. You tried. Very least with the Medrodorm and stuff, I can heal myself and I can just sell it. Like, these yellow pills are not worth taking. They hurt you a ton and give you very little. Huh. Whole bottle of Twirin. Also, we can trade with the guards for ammo and food using the crowbars, which is always good. I don't know why, but seeing her around the corner genuinely made me jump, and I reflexively clicked. Yeah, we only have 1 more shell left, which means we can only take another crowbar. Nothing else in this house, so I guess I'll just rob the lowest floor of some house and then just skedaddle. We've got a lot of medicine, though, which we can pawn off. And that's good. Yeah, let's do this one. Oh, I still have a shell in here? I'll see what I can do since I did actually reload the gun. Kerosene. It's something, I guess. Weehoo, I can see slightly better now. Yeah, now I have no... How much ammo do I have shoved up my ass, mate? I think there's one last, lady in the last room. So, guess we'll just see if that, reload was nonsense or not. Oh, it's this weird, like, infinite, reload bug. I don't think I have any more ammo. Or I only have one in the clip since it reloads too. And there is nobody, so I'm just gonna not waste the shot on any more houses and just, if we find a mugger, I'll try it. Otherwise, I'm gonna run away because I accidentally sold my knife. Yeah, this guy. I accidentally reload again. Yep, there we go, and I can't reload anymore. Cool. Just dip into this shop to pawn off a little bit, and then we're gonna return to Knockin'. Oh yeah. These sell good in bulk. They also... I'll put someone out of their misery using our painkillers. Sounds like a terrible thing for me to do, but well, you know. This'll do. 40,000. It's funny, nobody's even been giving me free money. It's just that you get so much money and then immediately lose it as the Bachelor that he just can't accrue very much wealth. But since we're left on our own with our cash and are only expected to buy to feed ourselves, you're able to accrue a lot more money as the Haruspex. That isn't to say that this is easy in any remote way, but it's a pawn trade something. See this thing? I've taken it off a thug. Keeping an eye on them is your job, by the way. I will barter 1 for 1. 7, and this is worth 2. Nah. I was hoping that this guy was going to have a shotgun shell on him, because there's a mugger over there, but I'm just gonna have to walk around him. I could also use trading items for food, but at my wealth, I'd actually rather save bartering items to get things I can't buy, or can't buy in any meaningful amount, like ammunition. Rifle ammo and dried meat? Nah. Duck in here and grab some food. Oh yeah. The shops are getting emptied out. Peanuts, a lemon, and a thing of milk. I'll take the peanuts and the milk. Peanuts tradable, milk, while it keeps me off of death's door. Nom. Let's return back to Knockin'. Nothing. Oh, that ain't good. Yeah, let's just not even bother. The rewards I can get from killing that mugger isn't worth fist fighting over. Because using fists is janky and really, really shit. So I'm willing to go on a massacre if I have a loaded up shotgun and a good knife, but fists? Yeah, I'll just miss the opportunity and head along. Be safe. quick enough, we can nab some organs from this fight. Oh, that ain't good. So, how I'm going to do this is hide from the knife, duck in here, duck back out, and now I can rob those garbage bins. It's a skill of some sort. And lastly, before I head back to bed and sleep to 8 o'clock, I will stop by the worms and see what I can get for my organs. I also don't need to stop by Var, the hunchback, since my bandage situation is pretty good. I'm probably gonna stop by the guy selling Swevery and White Whip down by the stone yard. Which is gonna be a long walk, but those are rare ingredients which I can buy quite a few of in my situation. Ooh, I am so glad I did not get infected there. Please stop.
Where are my daredevils?
Arm me up as well, aren't you? Here you are. I mean these crowbars, right? Yep, that's just the stuff. I'll keep my word. Here you are. Our potluck, as they say. Thank you. Hang them up on the wall. A bunch of ammunition. Two of those guns I don't own, but, you know, I'd argue that's a pretty good reward. At worst, we can sell the other ammunition. Although, if we can get our hands on a rifle at some point, that's also good. I'm going to get bold and try and trade with these guys, since we're going to be doing a lot of walking. This guy has fresh meat, but I'm not willing to barter for food. These guys really like their rifle ammo. There we go. One crowbar for one thing of shotgun shells. Good trade. Funny, the exact same guys that would hate you are your best friend. Because trading with them means shotgun ammo, and they have good prices on those forms of ammo. You know, rifle and shells, while the revolver ammo is overpriced, so the bachelor probably wants to avoid that if he can. Although later game, it's back to being useful for the bachelor, which is handy. Also note, because the warehouses are infected, this bonfire is lit up to essentially warn people that, yo, this place is undergoing a tragedy and a half. Now, really quickly, I'm going to stop by the warehouse, or the works again, to grab our hearts and kidneys. Not to reintegrate them into myself, but rather to barter with malformed humanoids. Because that's just what you do in this game. Could also check out getting some bloody Twirin from the worm below the knots. That could be useful. Others... nothing I want to put away. Actually, I need all kinds of Twirin now I look at it. Because we made... oh, right, I remember. I might as well bring these along, because I don't know if the... yeah, I want to check out if the worms would actually appreciate infected organs. Otherwise, infected organs will be more relevant later. Back out into the Great Steps. I'm gonna stop by the worm over here just to see if I can even trade with infected organs. If not, I'm just gonna dump them on the floor right there so I can pick some Twirin around here, because there is a thing of brown Twirin, but I just can't pick it up right now. Although it's only one unit, and we'd be getting a lot more from the worms. I'm not too crushed about it. But I would be more upset if I had to leave some Swevery or White Whip. Those two you can never have enough of. Always give them blood. You can not trade with the infected organs. Alright. Brown Twirin, Bloody Twire, Black Twire. I'll take some bloody. One sec. We don't need an infected kidney. And now I will take all of your bloody Twire. There. Thank you, worm. And boy, got a long walk ahead of us, boys. Weehoo. I also didn't get any comments about if this stuff wants to be skipped out, so long walk in the Eurasian steppes with Linder. Wow. I'm actually specifically trying to avoid the politics of the disease situation as of late, as one, I don't want to date this Let's Play because, well, how well did media talking about SARS age? Pretty poorly, because SARS didn't last for all that long. The a virus that must not be named may be different, but maybe not. I don't know. But still, it's better to leave it a very casual mention rather than harping on about it constantly. However, as a sentiment that will never get old, the government's dealing with it terribly. In fact, it is fucking laughable. If YouTube erased the ability to see when a video was uploaded, I think what I just said would be relevant even 200 years in the future. Oh, the woes of a soft socialist. I will say, though, the step is almost pretty with this kind of gloomy, dreamlike fog. I think it's almost kind of cool. And if someone were to compare this to Silent Hill, honestly, I would say that that's not the most unfair thing in the world. Just because they both have that really, like, confused, dreamy feeling. Can I hear whispers? I think they trigger when you're around these rocks. I also think it depends on your sound setting, how loud they are, because that speech was pretty loud when I first played the game, but since I've messed with sound settings, it's just like a whisper in my ear. Take my blood. Brown, bloody, black. Yeah, this is the same. And he has his wife back. I really have no idea, like, the moral consequences of doing what I did in that quest. But all I can tell you is that it's a situation that I really just don't understand. So I didn't want to get in the way of it. I do not support ownership of women normally, though. Do not take me wrong. But the culture is weird and it does not reflect the values that we have in our world. Clearly not. We respect the hell out of our surgeons, and these guys make it a rite of passage. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to get some Swevery. Just grab whatever we can pull out. He has 6 or 8. I think it's 8. And then I'll take some White Whip. And can we get more Swevery? Yeah, it's 8. There. Thank you, Worm. You have made things a whole hell of a lot easier for me. And let me make sure I got him. Oh, it's E. Yep. There we go. And now let us head back home. The whole trip all over again. I'll keep my eyes out. That's not Swevery. Actually, you know what? Let's scoop up into the knots. There's a hole in this fence which allows you to scooch on by with all of the oh yeah, that is like fucking brown twire. Yeah, the brown kind of dying leaves is actually, I think, bloodied tire. So I was wrong earlier. Some lady just got shanked, I think. Alright, trying to approach from here. Dick. Who'd you guys kill? Because, whatever they have, I want to disembowel them. It's just a mugger. Alright, I'll just, ignore the kidney. Heart's still more valuable. Oh, this is a dying lady. Yeah, I wanted to use 2 Meridorm and a Twirin to heal her. That's why I didn't sell them. I do like that the stock grunting is that of an adult man coming from a young woman. Note to self, once we're at peak hours, I really need to grab some food. My hunger bar is slowly ticking up, and it turns out that drinking a bottle of milk isn't the best way to keep yourself nourished. Morning of the 4th day has come. The powers that be are getting increasingly worried. It all ends in less than 9 days. And by the end of which the Haruspex makes a friend and finds the half-dead enemy. Oh. It's, concerning. Yeah, get the weeds in first. We'll put in the hearts, and then the infected heart. There. Things are looking better. Anyways, unfortunately, it's already become about 8, so instead I am going to just chew down on some coffee to, essentially be awake. So, looters, nothing's on today's quest. Do we have any notes? No. So I suppose we should, get on the bin looting duty and trading with children until we get letters for our main quest. Speak of the devil. Bachelor's invitation. What is Reuben hiding? It appears that our mutual friend was not to be trusted after all. He has concealed a crucial piece of information. Come to see me as soon as you can. I think that this work will prove to be of use to you as well as to me. I will tell you more when we meet. Daniel Denkovsky. Oh, To the stone yard we go. At a frustratingly human-like speed. The more I play this game, the more I notice little intricacies in the architecture. I never really stopped to think about the railing of the river, but it has a kind of distinctive look, even though in most games something like that would just be complete lines, just like bars with no real texture or size to it. Why do I take risky paths to get to places? I'm impatient. And I can do that to all the rats. It's pretty cool. I also have quite a lot of these plague clouds memorized. Which is something you don't want to brag about to your friends, I assure you. Nah. Gotta go the cubular way. Thank you. It's funny that I'm asking women to pretty much disinfect clearly disposable gloves. Because those are supposed to just go straight in the trash. Yet I'm choosing to be protective of them. The cloak too. The cloak is another... You toss it out because it's garbage protection. Oh boy, the night music.
The wretched wound has opened.
What's that supposed to mean, mate? The yesterday's endeavor turned out to be a complete disaster. I couldn't extract the microbial culture from the dead cells. Not to worry though, there's still hope. Do you have a plan? Master Reuben, who doesn't trust me and is concealing something important, has an unusual source of infected tissue. He's using it to conduct his first experiments. It's not a vaccine, of course, but it's something. I think it might be of interest to you as well. You have my attention. It seems like Reuben is working with the mysterious carrier of the disease that has weakened microbial culture in their blood. Doubt we could make a vaccine from it. Your reagents seem to deal with it all too mercilessly. I wonder what had weakened the infection, though. Who's the carrier? Beats me. Reuben is keeping tantalizingly mum about the whole business. You're closer to him than I am, though. Perhaps he'd be willing to share with you the information that he is concealing from me. Reuben hates me. He absolutely doesn't. Last time we talked, I described your feats in detail and proved that his suspicions were completely baseless. You're his hero now, and he's deeply ashamed of his tantrum. Oh. Where do I find him? That is something I cannot tell you. I gave my word. Telling me would be in your best interest, though, wouldn't it? Sating your curiosity is not in my best interests, no. Reuben shares his findings with me, and for me, that's enough. Even if the microbes turn out to have come from his own saliva, I don't care. You are the one who does. I won't ever abuse this knowledge, I can give you my word. Reuben's trust is very precious to me, and it's so very fragile. If he finds out that it was I who told you where his lair is, a lair that's being actively sought after by numerous armed robbers, I must add, you'll lose a very important ally. No way. You're free to look for Reuben yourself. Where do I start? I was introduced to him by a lovely lady called Lara Raval. She is a very kind and gentle creature. I suppose it'd be very hard to be accepted as her guest without a stellar reputation. She'll probably fight your way in somehow. I see where you're going with this. It's this thing people call a joke, right? Mistress of the house, Lara Raval, keeps in touch with Reuben. Was she Captain Raval's wife or daughter? I can't recall. Well, we have some lead. Although, from playing as the Bachelor, originally we already know where Reuben lives, but for the sake of the quest, I will pretend not to know.